I want to take a moment to thank all the civilians in the room that are here to support us. We don't feel that in our day-to-day lives, and it's really nice to see a room full of people who don't have a vested interest in emergency services here supporting us. So thank you very much. I was asked to speak tonight to sort of give you an understanding of who Kevin was. And I certainly feel qualified to do that. I've been a paramedic here in St. John for 14 years this year, and I met Kevin in 2004. He was my lab instructor when I took the course to become a paramedic. From then on, our relationship grew. I was lucky enough to be hired in St. John, which was a real feather in my cap as a new student, working in a really high-paced environment, and he moved on from being my mentor to my coworker, and from then on became a friend. And just 3 years ago, my partner Jeremy and I bought a house in Hampton, and he and Nadine became our neighbors. And it was a really wonderful evolution to our friendship, and he was so pumped that we were moving to Hampton. It was great. So everything was good, and then on the evening of September 2nd, 2017, he became my patient. And he was found dead by his brother from suicide. It has been a long 9 months since then, and I don't know how else to say it, but we're all just trying to get through this as best we can. And to tell you what kind of person he was, I can't sum it up at a 5-minute speech, so I will do my best. He would have been 45 this past April. He was a son, a brother, a husband, uncle, nephew, cousin, and a friend. He was a proud paramedic and lifeguard, a consummate outdoorsman, a thrill seeker, life of the party, just a generous, give you the shirt off his back kind of guy. I always joke that he was so very helpful, but not always so skillful, but always there to help. He was a charming, flirtatious dog lover, the hugger of all huggers, the oldest kid I ever met. So how does a guy like that end up like this? That wonderful guy, we watched him fade out over time. He was non-compliant with his medications and psychological treatment. He withdrew from others. He slept 16 plus hours a day. He displayed erratic behavior and massive overspending. He had violent mood swings and was fighting with coworkers, and he was verbally and emotionally abusive to his beautiful and devoted wife. The signs were all there. We all knew that Kevin wasn't himself. We knew his history, and we knew that things weren't good at home. So I've gone over what I like to call the how could he questions as I've gone through the last 9 months. How could he have done this to his parents, to his wife, to all of us who loved him so much? How could he have believed this was the only way out? How could he have not known how loved he was? And I've come to the conclusion over time that these questions cannot be answered by a healthy mind. To put it simply, there was a battle going on within him that no one truly understood, and the wrong side won. And that could happen to any single one of us, not just emergency, any one of us. Listen to the news. What's gone on in the last week? People who supposedly have it all are on top of the world and have chosen that same path. And during the writing of this speech, not only have 2 prominent celebrities taken their life, but yet another paramedic has taken his life in Nova Scotia. He was the same age as Kevin, with 3 children and was desperately trying to get out of this profession. So how do we change this? How do we change this terrible epidemic that's happening? I'm no expert, but I've broken it down into 3 simple categories that I hope that each of you take away from here today. Recognize signs and symptoms of depression. Everything I listed about my friend, my dear friend. See those in other people and have that hard conversation that I didn't have with Kevin, because it's my biggest regret that I didn't tie him to a chair and make him listen to me. Find support for people who you see these symptoms in. Find your tribe. Find people that you have solid friendships with and you can identify with, and be honest with people around you. Talking will get you through that crucial 5 minutes that might mean the difference between life and death. I also think in the category of support that psychologists should be seen as a vital and necessary part of a person's healthcare team, like a GP or a dentist, not just an extra frill because you can afford it. And prevention. Seek out programs to educate yourself on signs and symptoms of depression, PTSD, to recognize it in yourself and others. This year for my PA&B research, we had to do a mandatory questionnaire developed by Dr. Lori Gray, who is a PhD in psychology, and she wrote a paper called Combating Operational Stress and Injuries, Resilience and Self-Care. It doesn't sound very interesting, but it was very enlightening and helped me, and I hope that it helped others that took it as well this year. And I'm not trying to dog my friend here. I loved him very much. I just wish so badly that things had been different. And I thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to Canada's 911 Ride Atlantic for your generous donation of an AED in Kevin's honor. Because of this amazing gift, Kevin is still on duty, whether he likes it or not. And because of this amazing gift, he's still ready to help people when the time comes. And even though that AED hangs on the wall at Seaside Elementary here on the west side, St. John, my hope is that his story will help save people in other ways too. Thank you.